You've done it. You've built the ultimate prepper pantry, packed with everything your family needs to survive. You've stored clean water and even equipped yourself with alternative communication devices for when things go dark. In short, you're prepared, ready to ride out any storm that comes your way, right? Or so you think. But what happens when your neighbor, the one who didn't bother prepping, knocks on your door demanding a piece of your stockpile? What happens when the true chaos begins? They say disasters bring out the best in people, but we know better. Looting, theft, and worse. When disaster strikes, it doesn't just hit the grocery stores, it hits your doorstep. And where do desperate people turn when everything else is gone? To the ones who prepared. To your home. So what's your plan when the danger isn't just the storm or blackout, but the people outside? Here's the truth. Prepping isn't just about food, water, or bug-out bags. It's about protecting what you've built. Because in a real SHTF scenario, your home isn't just your castle, it's your fortress. So how do you fortify your home? How do you make sure it stays off the radar for those looking for an easy score? Here are some things you should consider. Rule number 1, never spill the beans. First things first, what's the golden rule of staying prepared? Don't talk about prepping. The less people know, the safer you are. Let me ask you this. If the world's in chaos and someone hears you've got food, water, and supplies, who's going to come knocking? Everyone. And I mean everyone. But they may not knock. Hunger, desperation, it changes people. Makes them do things they'd never imagine. Even the kindest person can become dangerous over something as small as a can of beans. And trust me, that's not a risk you want to take. Rule number 2, camouflage everything. Now that we've established the power of silence, what's next? Simple, blend in. You don't want to be the house that screams, "I've got everything." You want to disappear into the background. Keep your home looking ordinary. No flashy gadgets or obvious stockpiles, just a normal house like everyone else's. How do you do this? Be discreet with your purchases. Keep those windows covered to stop wandering eyes. And for the love of prepping, stay off social media with your survival gear hauls. Don't give people a reason to snoop. At the end of the day, protecting your home is about staying smart, staying quiet, and staying under the radar. Because the best defense is the one no one ever sees. Rule number 3, fortify your home. Your home is your fortress, but when chaos hits, is it ready to stand strong? Let's talk about how you can turn your property into an impenetrable stronghold. First up, creating a secure perimeter. The goal, keep unwanted visitors far from your home. A strong barrier is your first line of defense. Some preppers recommend a 7-foot fence around your yard, but here's the trick. Don't make it scream, "I've got something valuable." A tall, sturdy wooden fence or chain link is perfect. Remember, the higher the wall, the bigger the question, what's inside? That's why your fence should blend in, not stand out. And when things get serious, you can reinforce the top with barbed wire or spikes. But don't stop there, use your surroundings. Got a lawn? Perfect. Trees and shrubs don't just look nice, they add privacy and natural camouflage. But here's the catch, those same plants can become hiding spots for intruders. Make sure they don't block your view. Don't just plant anything, go for the mean stuff, thorns, prickles. Anything that'll make a trespasser think twice about getting too close. And here's another trick. Don't be afraid of open space. A little distance between your fence and home creates a clear line of sight. That way, anyone approaching has nowhere to hide. Place security cameras strategically around your property. They'll capture everything, even what you can't see from inside. And motion lights. Once they're triggered, thieves won't be able to stay in the shadows. They light up whenever someone steps into their range. Want to really surprise your unwanted guests? Booby traps. They're the trickster's defense tool, and they can be set both inside and outside your home. There's nothing quite like watching an intruder's face when they trip a harmless wire and are hit with flashing lights, blaring alarms, and utter confusion. It's chaos, and it's genius. Now, as tempting as it may be to go full-on Rambo with lethal traps, we don't recommend it. You'll end up with more legal troubles than intruders. Stick to the harmless traps. They may not be deadly, but they'll still send those bad guys away. Now let's turn our focus to fortifying the house. Your doors and windows are the weak spots. To keep intruders out, they need to be as tough as possible. High-quality deadbolt locks? Absolutely. Go for single-cylinder 1-inch deadbolts. Why not double-cylinder? Because in an emergency, like a fire, you want to escape fast. And don't even think about using regular hollow core doors. They're as good as paper. Even a kid can kick them in. Replace them with solid wood or metal insulated doors. Now that's a door that'll stand strong. And for extra protection, barricades, door stops, and flip blocks add layers of security that make entry almost impossible. Windows? Let's face it, they're the Achilles heel of every home. All it takes is one rock from the driveway and boom, they're in. Want the ultimate protection? Go for bulletproof glass. It's pricey, but can you really put a price on your family's safety? But don't worry if you're on a budget, security film is a powerful alternative. It stops the glass from shattering completely, forcing intruders to work much harder to break through. And for extra peace of mind, install burglar bars. Just make sure they have a quick release system so you can escape in an emergency like a fire or earthquake. And even with a solid defense in place, sometimes you need to retreat. That's where the safe room comes in, a place to regroup, watch the security feeds, and wait until the threat passes. Think of it as your family's last line of defense. Reinforced walls, emergency supplies, surveillance, it's all about buying time and staying safe. Rule number 4, be ready to take up arms. Now, if they do make it past your defenses, it's time to be ready. When looking at the best survival guns for when SHTF, it's important to keep a few things in mind. First, your guns need to be low maintenance with the ability to run dirty if necessary. If I have to clean my gun after each use, it's not worthy for my survival stash. Second, how popular is the ammunition? Owning guns and popular cartridges is an important aspect to consider. If you can't find ammo for it, it'll be useless for you. It's really only necessary to have so many survival guns because you'll only fit so many in your bug-out bag. If none of them are in the calibers we're about to discuss, chances are good that you may find yourself up that paddleless creek. Finally, what's the purpose of the gun? Each survival firearm you have should serve you in some way. Is it good for hunting, home protection, patrolling, all three? You need to have a solid understanding of this going forward. Keep a small cache in each major room, but make sure they're hidden well, out of reach from kids, but within easy access for you. Get creative. From behind bed table to fake accessories, there are endless places to stash your defense tools. No one should know where they are but you. At the end of the day, preparation isn't just about survival, it's about peace of mind, knowing that you've done everything to keep your family safe no matter what happens. Every window fortified, every entry point secured, every step planned. When the world outside gets chaotic, your home becomes your fortress. So while others may panic, you'll be ready, strong, secure, and prepared for whatever comes your way. Subscribe now for more tips on home defense, survival, and prepping. Stay secure. Stay ready.